Growing up, that's why I don't trip. Music fix my loose grip. I'ma ride on water like a cruise ship. Bad girls want good guys, good girls love hood guys. Bad and good guys judge a woman 1 to 10, depending on what she look like, rather than a good mind. Am I right? Nah, what's up? Are you down? Questions that never help. I fall in love until I catch myself. Fast forward to a flashback. Yeah, you heard me. Catch that. Step forward to a past event. So I live the future in the past tense. Always texting good morning. Lesson 3. How'd you sleep? Always tell me that you're proud of me. It's a kid in me. Yeah, I'm still here.
Yo, what is up, everybody?
What up?
What's good?
Yes, sir. How's everybody doing? We're here live. It's the Vibe Tribe podcast, and we got a special guest today.
Yes, sir.
We're here with, Uso Ron, better known as the 30toLife on YouTube. Go ahead and say what's up, everybody.
What's up?
Yes, sir. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's week going?
I'm good. Life is good. Week's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
What about you, Cyrus? How's everybody doing?
Good, man. Back to work.
What?
Sucks for you.
I went back to work. I'm already regretting it.
It's okay. That's why I call off all the time.
Yes.
Gotta work out some other stuff, man.
Right.
Gotta try to make it to where I don't gotta work, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully this music makes me not work anymore.
No more work.
In time, brother. In time.
Right. Oh man, eventually. But yeah, Ron, if you wanna start it off with like introducing yourself. I know Chief just did, but yeah, give us a rundown about who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff.
All right. They call me Uso Ron, and I run a YouTube channel, like you said, 30toLife. I started the channel because I wanted to start sharing my experiences, and I was going through a lot, so it was just something that I was able to release a lot of tension, a lot of stuff that was going on with myself that I didn't have other people to talk with about. So I started the channel, and then I didn't expect it to grow as big as it did. It just kind of surprised me, and yeah, that's pretty much it, And I'm over there telling my story about being in prison, the things I did when I was young, how I ended up there, and then I'm also sharing other people's stories on there, interviewing others that have gotten out from prison and changed their life around. Yep. That's pretty much it. And my goal is pretty much to help others and hopefully reach them, whoever's going through the same kind of, BS that we were going through.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely grateful that we have you to do that. Because it's kind of taboo within our culture to, have these type of conversations and being able to ask questions, and when you want answers, they don't give them to you, or they're just not available. So no, definitely giving you your flowers. Thank you so much for doing that.
Hell yeah.
Especially with everybody that you've done your interviews, from Ellie all the way down to with Dill, just pretty much everything you did. I've seen it when you were with Body Young, when you had him on. So yeah, like those type of stories, we love to hear. We feel empathy, sympathy for everything that happened back then, but you're still here, you're still kicking, you're still pushing, and you're able to tell those stories. So definitely, thank you for being out, for being able to put out a message, for everyone, because like you said, helping those who went through that, you're I think you're doing the best job at it.
Hell yeah.
So definitely, we appreciate you for doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Got it, Chief.
Kick us off, brother.
So without further ado, we're gonna start this interview off. So of course we have here with us the Uso Ron. And if you haven't seen his YouTube, I encourage you guys to go check out his YouTube. He has a lot of good interviews with a lot of good people who changed their lives. And just to start it off, could you like just tell us, where you're from and where you grew up at?
Yeah, so I grew up in Vacaville, California, um, and I pretty much was born in Vallejo, California, and pretty much grew up in Vacaville until 13 years old, and ended up getting in too much trouble there. So
Yeah.
moms felt like I'd probably do better if I get sent to the islands with my aunts and my uncles. So they sent me to Hawaii for school.
Mm.
And yeah, it just didn't really work out. I was in trouble my first week out there. I felt kind of abandoned by my parents, felt like they just couldn't deal with me. So they sent me off, and that kind of hit me pretty hard. So I just kind of went over there and did the same thing. I didn't want to listen to nobody and acted up, and started getting locked up out there. And eventually, with my aunt and all, you know how it is in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
family. So
Yeah.
they rule with the heavy hand, and that's something that I just wasn't ready to put up with. So one day I just ran away from home. Ended up sleeping in parks in Hawaii
Wow.
for about 2 years, stealing food and stealing clothes, robbing houses, just the young kid did with no guidance, didn't know what to do. And eventually my last time in court, the judge pretty much said, you're a visitor here. If you don't leave Hawaii now, I'm gonna lock you up for a very long time.
Man.
So yeah, my mother had to come get me, and
Yeah.
back to Vacaville, California. So that's pretty much what it was for me as a youngster between Vacaville and Hawaii.
So,
Wow.
so the when the judge told you you either had to go back or we're gonna lock you up, he knew you were from Vacaville.
Yeah, he pretty much told me you're a visitor here on
Ooh,
our island.
wow,
Yeah,
wow,
so
that's harsh. Well, what part of Hawaii were you staying at?
I was in Oahu, and
Okay.
when I was homeless, I lived over there in this park in Salt Lake, not too far from Aloha Stadium.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But originally, when I went out there, I was living in Kalihi.
Mm,
I bounced from Kalihi to Nanakuli, so I was pretty much around the island for a little bit.
right, right.
Yeah,
On the west side.
yeah.
Yeah, you're on the west side. Dang,
How
that's
long were you
crazy.
on the island for?
Uh, I want to say about 3 years, 4 years, something like that. Because I was homeless for about two and a half
Wow.
years.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, if you want to be homeless, though, I mean, that's the place.
Right, right.
The weather's good, food in the trees,
True,
Right.
true.
showers on the beaches.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
resourceful.
Yeah.
Right. I know a few guys who actually did that while they were out there,
Yeah.
and they were just chilling on the beach all day, all night. I'm like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
so I guess that is the place if you want to be homeless. That's
Man, that's crazy.
but to do it at a young age, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and I really didn't know what was going on. Like I
Mhm.
said, I was really upset with the whole thing of being sent away from home. And so
Yeah.
I was just doing what I thought I had to do to survive out there. And yeah, it was crazy times.
Man.
Yeah.
So when you went back to Vacaville, was it like a bittersweet moment? Because I know you said that you felt abandoned, but you finally go back to your parents, but it's on those terms where it was kind of a bad reason. You're getting kicked off the island.
Right.
But so what was it, like a bittersweet moment?
Well, so while I was in Hawaii, one of the things I found out at 13 years old is that my dad that I had been living with this whole time wasn't my real dad.
Oh shit.
Mm.
You know how it is in the island families.
Yeah.
We don't tell the secrets and things like that.
Yeah.
So I find out, my cousins are making fun of me out there and things like that. So I find out, I call home, and my mom, she breaks down crying, saying that she wished she would have told me, but that messed me up. So when I did get back to Vacaville, I really didn't want to hear nothing any of them had to say. So basically my mom, she tried to discipline me or say anything. and it was like, F you liar, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I was just really angry. And then my dad, he wasn't my dad no more. To me, became like my stepdad. So I was telling him, I don't want to hear shit from you either,
Yeah.
So yeah, I just went all the way bad. It wasn't good when I got back. Got involved with gangs, got involved with drinking a lot. And yeah.
Wow.
So did uh being that you found out that that you have a different dad, did you ever reconnect with him, or that was it? Just
I
finding out that was it.
when I found out that he wasn't my real dad, I became really bitter. And so, like I said, everything he tried to say to me or even talk to me, I just would tell him, "You're not my dad." So,
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
your biological dad?
I just figured it. Why even go there? It's
Right.
like
Understood. Yeah.
he never tried to really be in my life anyway. So
So why try
yeah,
now?
yeah,
Damn.
Definitely.
Rough.
Oh shit.
And so other than you talking about it on your channel, um did your family know that before you got on camera and told that story? Or are
uh,
all the stories that you tell and stuff, are they just finding it out for the first time like the rest of us?
yeah.
Or
They're just finding out how I really felt, and
yeah.
we
Damn.
don't really have a good relationship. So they find everything out through my YouTube channel, and I really
Yeah.
haven't heard nothing from them about it.
How about at home?
Man.
Wife and kids, them hearing it like,
Yeah, they really think it's cool that I'm very open with it because it helps them out to understand who I am and why I act certain ways and things like
Right.
that. So yeah, yeah. So they really think it's cool. But Samoan way is I'm pretty much disrespecting the family. I'm pretty
Right.
much,
Mhm.
putting them out there like that. So and they're not feeling it. Yeah.
I know you feel like when I say certain things in my music, and
Yeah.
I the family kind of looks at me like, hey man, I didn't really want people to know that, but okay.
Yeah.
But it's just me telling my truth, same thing as you. So
Yeah. I
definitely
think it's
I know what you're going through.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good thing to really talk about it now because that's what kept all that anger within me for a very long time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Damn.
But I can see it in you. I mean, I didn't know you before, but see it in you now. You're always smiling, and
Yeah.
I can see that you're enjoying life now. Like you're past everything that happened, back then, and
Mhm.
there
Mhm.
still might be things in there that that's just everlasting. But the fact that you're on camera, and we don't see you ever in like a dull moment, or you're like angry. There are times where you show emotion in the video, but like to me that shows growth, and just seeing you do that, like definitely it shows me that, like, hey, Ron's growing as a person, like like hopefully this is mending a lot of you know the things that happened back then. So
Definitely.
yeah, man, I see it, man, I see it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So what was the what was the motivation that made you decide to create a YouTube channel and just get on camera and just kind of be like a tell all of your experience?
So after 10 years in prison and before that at least 3 years in CYA, I really didn't realize that a lot of this stuff took a toll on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really thought that who I was really me.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came home, I had some issues, anger issues still, and the way I talked to my family, the way I pushed the line. I came home like a real convict and pushing the line on my family and everything. And seeing how what I was putting them through really was hitting me, and I couldn't understand why it was like this. Like I said, I really thought that I was just a normal person.
Yeah.
And so one day my daughter said, "Hey, well, back up." One day I was really just tired of everything, and I ended up sitting in my closet with a gun in my mouth, and I just wanted to end it all. And just having kids and things, you want to really be there for them. So, I'm thinking about them. And so I was open with them about that, how I felt. And my daughter suggested that I get on camera and start talking because I didn't have no one else to talk to. And well, no one that would really understand what I was going through at that time. I wasn't talking to other people who had came home from prison. So talking to the camera really helped me get those things off my chest. I didn't know who would be listening. I didn't know who would be watching. I didn't really even think about it because I wasn't that knowledgeable about
Mhm.
how big things can go on the internet.
Right, right.
It was just something that helped me release, and instead of wanting to take my own life, I started healing and letting it all out. And people started contacting me, telling me they're in the same predicament, they feel it, and that started really just letting me know I was on the right track with that.
You ever think in a million years you would be doing something like this?
No, no. I'm a very private person, really wasn't that talkative. That's what's funny, but now you can't shut me up because
Yeah. I'm glad you're still here, brother.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
Really, man. We need you. The world needs you. The world needs Uso Ron.
it.
That's right.
Appreciate it.
That's right. And that's crazy. Um, like when they hear your stories, have you ever told your daughters or your family in general, uh, like the stories before you go on camera and tell them, or like anything?
Yeah. So the other day, my daughter told me she said she thinks it's pretty cool that other people get to hear my stories because for a long time it was just them hearing it, and
Mm.
they thought it was cool hearing it like you guys, and so she was telling me, yeah, that's really cool that other people get to hear your stories and kind of share it like with her too in a way. Everybody's getting to enjoy those stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. So,
You got anything?
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just asking Chief if he had questions.
Oh,
as
what you
well.
got, Chief?
Oh, so like when you started like pretty much making these videos where you're telling your life story, like how did it feel when you started getting all this feedback about people relating and like on some level they feel what you're feeling and they're just trying to open their arms out to really connect with you? Like how did
Um,
that feel?
Yeah, like I said, at first it was a healing process for me, so it felt really good for myself. But then I started realizing that it's changing to where I'm doing this for everybody else now because it's helping them heal as well. And so got me more excited to put out more videos, really
Yeah.
to help people. So yeah, I really enjoyed the feedback. And some was negative too, but
Yeah.
hey, the majority of it was positive, and so yeah, it was really good to hear it.
Don't listen to the negativity.
Oh yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
we for sure as hell don't, and we
Yeah.
don't give a damn.
No, we have a saying for
We have a,
negativity.
we have a saying, fuck them.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's right.
So everybody knows us for that. Like we're really good vibes. And, if there's any negativity that, our chat may see or while we're in Husky's chat, everybody knows what it is. Like,
Oh yeah.
nah, we we move different. We move different around here.
Yeah, we don't play that shit,
That's right.
But
Go ahead, Husky.
no, shit, I lost my train of thought. I was thinking too much. Go ahead, Cyrus. I got excited.
All right, so starting your YouTube channel, I'm watching all your videos, and then you get into why you went in or how you went in and stuff. Just for a chat, I know I don't know if you get tired of talking about this all the time, but if you could just run it down with our chat, you can get into detail if you like, but just like let them know, um, pretty much what happened, why you went in, and pretty much how everything went from there. If you guys want to hear the whole full story with the animations and the videos, like go to Ron's channel. I love that series. I believe it's like a three video series of you getting into it and talking about what happened. And you just recently put out a video of how you were able to get out.
Yeah.
Hence uh the channel's called 30 to Life, but you heard this man said why he only did 10. But if you could just give them the rundown about pretty much what happened and how you got yourself in that situation.
Yeah, sure. So I have been in trouble before, and I was actually paroled from CYA, and you know, not wanting to do better, of course, just not knowing any better. I started running from parole, and I was going to turn myself in after my daughter's birthday, second birthday. And so I was waiting for her birthday. But what happened is, like I said, I drank a lot of alcohol, and we were at a party one night, and we are hanging out and we're drinking alcohol, and one of my buddies decided to leave early. So him and another friend of mine walked out, and as they left the house, they got into an altercation with a couple guys down the street. So I ended up stepping outside to see what was going on, found out there was an altercation going on with my friends down the way. And it was pretty dark at this moment. I was pretty drunk. Most of us were drunk. And so I ran down there to find out what was going on. When I got down there wasn't really anybody there. It was weird. I just didn't see anyone. And so I was kind of standing on the corner where it was really dark. There was no street lamps. And out of nowhere, this big guy came out of the bushes. And when he came out of the bushes, he was asking me, what's going on? What's up? What's the problem? And I was pretty much asking the same thing. Cause like I said, I came down there to find out what was up with my friends.
Yeah.
And so I was asking him pretty much the same thing. He was drunk. I was drunk. I didn't know that at the time. But I guess at the time before I got there, he had heard the argument between my friends and his friends, and he was in the bushes taking a leak. So
Oh,
it was just crazy how I show up and he's coming out of the bushes, and we
Yeah.
both don't know what's going on. And so long story longer, we ended up coming to blows because we're thinking this is what's going on with our friends. He goes down, and when he's on the ground on his hands and knees, I kind of kick him in his butt, tell him to get up, to fight some more. And out of nowhere, my other two buddies that were at the house party with us, they show up. They come running up and kick this guy in the side of the head. And he kind of rolls over on the ground. And like most fights, people stomp. And that's what happened. They get to stomping on him. And we leave the scene. We leave like it was just a normal fight, getting in a fight with somebody, not thinking nothing of it. We go back to the house. We're hanging out, and some girls show up and say, "Hey, what happened down the road? There's the cops down there." And I knew it was all bad then. One of my buddies came walking up to, and he said, it don't look too good. That guy is just laying down there. He ain't moving, So I knew it was all bad. And so I get a ride out of there. Of course, I'm going to, get away from this place. And I see the helicopter flying over. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I go on the run because this is I don't know that anything happened to him except that we beat him up. But the next morning, I make a phone call to some friends, and I find out that the guy that we beat up passed away. Yeah, so I'm panicking, of course. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I end up telling my lady later on that I want to turn myself in. And so I go to do this, but it didn't work out that way. I ended up getting raided at an apartment. They caught me, and next thing I know, I'm in court fighting a life sentence for second degree murder, and it was just a drunken fight
Mm-hmm.
where I didn't even know the guy. He didn't know me. It wasn't no gang related thing. There was no weapons involved. And so I never had no real animosity towards this guy. So it was just, the whole thing was just messed up. It messed me up. Find out later this guy has a kid, a wife, so, me too. I'm the same. I got a kid, I got a wife. And so I'm facing first degree murder at the time. They drop it down to second degree murder. We fight it for about a year, and I lose the trial. And they give everybody 15 to life, but me, because like I said, I was in trouble before, they double up my time and give me 30 to life with 85%, of course, and so with a Buck Rogers date.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's pretty much what happened. They send me off to prison, and I go straight to level 4 prison after that. Yeah, and my life is pretty much over from just a drunken fight. That easily.
Right. And it's like how you say, like you've been in fights before. We've all been in fights before, and you don't think anything of it. Like, you take the dub or the L and you just kind of keep it moving. But just to see how it took a turn for the worse, and then it just catches you by surprise. You're just like, what? Like, and now you're, how you say, you're in a panic. Like, it's just crazy how all of that just happened. And then you were going to turn yourself in.
Yeah.
And you're on parole from CYA. It's just that domino effect. It just just adds up. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it definitely just wasn't a good look on me with my past and everything.
Right.
So they were like, get rid of this guy, lock him up forever.
Just right away. They just get him out the way. Yeah. That's crazy.
Did you ever approach that family afterwards, whether it be after you got out or, whether it was 1 year, 2 years later?
Yeah. So at the end of the trial, when we lost the trial, I was able to get up and say a few things. And so I did apologize to the family for my actions involved in this whole thing. I think at the time the judge was really like upset with my co-defendant because he never apologized for nothing, and he never showed no remorse or anything like that. And so the family basically said that that's what they wanted, was some kind of ownership here.
Yeah.
It was like as if nobody would get up and say, hey, I messed up, I did this or whatever. So I took ownership for my part in this whole thing, but it was too soon for them to really even say anything back. But when I got out after 10 years, I had asked my parole officer at the time while I was on parole if I could write a letter maybe and give it to him, and he could somehow get it to them, because I really just wanted them to know that, I'm doing good and I'm not out here hurting anybody, making more victims. I'm really actually helping people. Yeah. And like, it just wasn't something in vain. I mean, I know they lost somebody, but I wanted them to know that I would not, make this go to waste, that I'm going to honor his name.
Yeah.
But my parole officer, he was just like, nope, absolutely not. You are to not have no contact with them at all. And so, yeah, I never really got a chance to say anything, but I do in the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if they actually come across your video, and hopefully they do hear that message, and they're gonna feel how they feel, but seeing you, still expressing whenever you can, like that shows that change in you. Like, yeah, like how you said, it's not in vain. Like, how you you're beyond, what happened. But definitely, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so, what about your co-defendants? Are they all out?
Yeah, yeah. Only two of us are doing really good. Like I said, prison just messes you up.
Yep.
And the two of us that are doing good, we actually had experience with CYA, but the other two they never stepped into jail ever in their lives, and they went straight to prison with a charge like this. And so they're kind of messed up. One of my co-defendants, he's in and out. He just can't stop going in and out of jail. And my other co-defendant, he just failed marriages and alcoholic, just doing
Yeah.
pretty bad. Yeah.
I hope eventually something works out. To you don't want to ever see anybody in that type of bad situation.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it turns around, and hopefully you have some type of influence, with what you're doing, to see like, look, I was the one who I grew up in the system and stuff, and seeing where you're at now, it's like you used all the experience that you had, that you've throughout time, and then what you learned inside of prison, and then now what you're doing with the channel, like you're using it for a positive thing.
Yeah.
So no, definitely, that's and do you talk to him, or it's just more of it is what it is?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like I said, the other guy that's doing pretty good will text like on the holidays just to say, man, I'm glad you're doing good. Just send
Yeah.
love. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's love from a distance. Keep it,
Yeah.
keep it where it's at. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. It was like during your time, how many times did you transfer, if you had to transfer? Because I've watched some of the videos, and I heard you mention like a couple of prisons, the one in High Desert, and then I forgot the other one that you said you transferred to, but then they sent you back or something.
Yeah. So when I went in, I started off in San Quentin. And then from San Quentin, I went to High Desert for a few years out there. And my points dropped. And so they sent me to Solano. I stayed in
That one.
Solano for good good amount of years in Solano until my points dropped again. And I was about 18 months to the house, and they sent me to Corcoran. And that was the last place I went to before I paroled.
Man. And how old were you when you went in?
22.
Yeah,
22.
you were a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
A kid, and they just threw 30 to life at you. Like,
I was with the big boys in High Desert.
oh man. That's the thing how you said like your co-defendants who've never been in jail, and did all of you go straight to the 4-yard?
No, I was the only one.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because of your
The
priors.
backgrounds and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
Been
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, that's crazy. How big was your support system throughout your whole time, like your wife and kid?
That's all I had the whole time was my wife and my kid. She grew up as a kid in the visiting rooms, having dinner there with me and spending the weekends there with me whenever they could.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in High Desert, I got maybe a visit once a month. And then when I got to Solano, it was a little more easier for the wife. Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
that
good.
was it.
Closer to home?
Yeah. Solano's right there in Vacaville.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Is that like a 10-minute drive from?
She just ride her bike there if she wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Cause I know I was in for a little bit in Lompoc, and I used to conversate with a lot of different people. A lot of them, they had work down. For them, like moving down levels was a huge thing for them, to move from the medium to the low down to a camp and so and so. And so some of them, they had explained that, these people that are getting visits often, like to be happy about it, not to bitch about, oh, they didn't bring enough money to eat, or they, I just don't want to see them. They're complaining about this and that. Those visits, that means a lot to some of them. So it's good to see that they did visit you, and that for others, they don't have that same support system. You know what I mean? So that plays a big part in it.
Definitely.
It's crazy. How was what was one thing that kind of got you through, that kept you occupied while you were locked up, in whichever prison you went to?
Reading. I love reading. I probably read thousands of books while I was incarcerated. Just reading. I remember when I first started reading, I started off with those Stephen King books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I moved on to crime books and all kinds of stuff. I was reading novels, and then eventually started reading self-help books. And
okay.
Yeah, by the time I went home, that's what I was doing, just reading sociology or anything that I could get my hands on to educate myself.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that. Do you have any recommendations? Or we got one from our chat. Top 5 books.
Oh,
Your top 5 favorite books, Ron.
For me, man, you guys put me on the spot.
And that's exactly what they wrote. Name them on the spot. Or just 5 books that cross your mind.
Yes. So I like man, you did put me on the spot. Yeah, I pretty much like those conspiracy books back in the days. I used to read a lot of what was it called? I can't remember the name at this moment, but how people are into that lizard people and all that stuff. I was reading I read all that, and then I eventually started reading books like man, I'm trying to think of this one book that I love. Man, what's that one book I love that I read, The 5 Steps? I can't think of it right now. They got me on the spot.
Is your wife, daughter on the side?
Yeah, my helper is here. But here's one of them, Deep and Simple. I read this, and it's pretty good. It was written by a guy who was locked up by the name of Bo Lozoff. And he's got a couple other books. He's got one called Doing Time, which is this. We're all doing time. So,
all right.
Yeah, I like all that kind of stuff. And then I brought this is kind of some of the stuff that I brought from home. I mean, from prison. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Art of War.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I think
y'all already know.
Everybody needs a copy of that. Everybody needs a copy of Art of War.
You already know. Yeah. So I love those type of books, and just anything about strategy, anything about helping out my brain, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
So did you read before
I
you went in?
actually have a video that I did 5 books.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you read before?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
Nothing.
And being in there, most people don't know how to read.
Right.
Yeah. So when I went in there, what happened is when you do whole time, it's just you don't have nothing. And
Right.
so they allow you a book.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time it's the Bible. And so, so I started off reading the Bible, and then eventually whenever the book cart came around, I'd pick another book and read that. So that's how it started for me. And it was just basically a way to escape and take my mind out of there. Yeah.
Put yourself in a different place, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. Good for you, because all my books come with pictures.
And
or
Four
rhyming.
Agreements. 4 Agreements.
4 Agreements.
Check that one out. That's one of my favorites when I was in there. That really helped me get through a lot. Just dealing with people and dealing with myself and everything else around me. Yeah.
Love that. I love that.
Damn. It's crazy.
Yeah. Chat's going off because I said all my books come with pictures, and or they rhyme. Or
that's right.
It's okay.
Book of stamps.
Or the the book that opens up and then like a picture, you know,
The one pops up.
Yeah, that pops out.
You have a little tab so you can make it move.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
And that's you ever thought about writing a novel about that time?
Ooh, Ron, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm trying to write a digital book. I just ended up just doing so many other things. But yeah, eventually the book will come. Yes.
Are you going to title it 30 to Life?
You know, I've always thought about titling it something like My Life because I have that tattooed on my stomach. And when I hit San Quentin, I got My Life on my stomach because it meant something to me. It's kind of, you know, it means many years lost in fruitless error, my life. So I thought maybe calling it something like that, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would definitely read that book. Make sure there's pictures.
Somebody said
Photos.
make sure there's color too.
No, I would definitely pick that up, man. Like, and you got to pitch it. You got to pitch a movie or something. Like,
Yeah.
that you have a story. I've noticed a lot of the Usos who did are people who just done time. Like, they have a story worth telling, and you do a lot of that on camera. So watching you and you know, saying what you got to say, telling those stories, you know, it's like you set up that imagery, like you're painting that picture for where we gotta pretty much put ourselves in your shoes to see where you're at. Like, definitely, I think a lot of the people who do time and, you know, they change their life around, like, man, like, you guys have a story that's you know, either can be written as a book or seen in the movie theaters or something. Like, you guys have something, man. I would love to see that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
One of the viewers wrote in, what are some Bible verses that stuck to you since reading the Bible?
So one of the ones that I used to open up to all the time was seek and you shall find, knocking and it shall open, ask and you shall receive. I really just remember being on my hands and knees one night in the hole, just begging God to just reveal himself to me somehow, because I felt like I was in hell. I felt like there was no God. I felt like, you know, my life was pretty much over. And so I used to pray over that Bible verse a lot, just asking to, you know, for God to come into my heart, for, you know, just to show me something where I just know that things are going to be okay, because at this moment, I just don't care about dying. And yeah, and I remember just getting the best sleep that night ever in prison. I slept like a baby. I woke up the next day and I didn't really, I told this story in one of my videos. I didn't really see it myself being there forever anymore with the 30 to life sentence.
Yeah.
I really just felt like I was going to be home one day. Yeah. It just felt like at peace finally, because I had been to the hole several times. I just couldn't get out of that rut of messing up, you know, and I was tired. I actually got the whole scene tatted on my back of me praying.
Love that. I love that.
Hell yeah, it's beautiful.
It was a life-changing moment. Yeah.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah. Definitely seeing your videos where you have the Usos on, and them saying, you know, they're the ones who they're all lifers, and you know, guys like Pine and Vika and like VJ, like all these guys who got on, and them just saying like, dang, I don't see myself in here, you know, being in here, or like, dang, can I go home? Like,
Yeah.
like some, you know, just like that switch just turns on, like, all right, I'm over this shit. Like, like, damn, I'm really gonna do this every day.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. Like, or that's it, or be more beautiful to see. You know, coming to terms with that, like, dang, I don't want to, like, I don't see myself in here anymore. I see myself on the outside.
Yep.
And now you're living it. That's
Yeah.
it's a movie, man. It's a movie.
So if your life did become a movie, who would you want to play you? Which actor would you want to play you?
Oh, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
With the smell.
What the Rock is cooking.
Can you imagine him doing the whole prison scene? Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't lose his fight, so
Yeah. So let's put this on record, chat, that when this video goes on YouTube,
Said it here first.
Please.
Said it here first.
Yeah.
everybody tag Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Let him know he's gonna have to star in 30 to Life Uso Ron. All right.
Yeah.
Make sure we
That's
tag
right.
him in there. When you see this post on Instagram with Uso Ron's face, don't forget, when you like and you share this, tag The Rock. All right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We got to
That's
get this
right.
going.
Yeah. And then tell him to come on the Vibe Tribe so we can interview him.
Yes.
I got
definitely.
some questions.
I need to know if he's really my uncle.
You too, huh?
Right.
We need answers, damn it.
I definitely was one of those guys. Oh yeah, that's my uncle.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't look anything like him. So yeah.
I have an aunt that oh my god, it would make me laugh because she would tell stories like, oh yeah, I remember when he used to pee the bed and this and that. I'm like,
Auntie, you don't know him. Auntie.
When
He
he
was
was
like,
little, I'm like, come on now, come on.
Husky was like, Auntie, that was me. That wasn't The Rock. That was me.
Yeah. Now that would I could see that. I could see The Rock playing you in 30 to Life. That'd be a nice movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There'd be a car chase in prison. Like, it would be crazy. Like something that made no sense.
Yeah.
A helicopter land in the middle of the prison. It'd be a car chase.
Yep. You get onto the top of one of the towers and you just jump and you just latch on with one arm and it carries you like 5 miles.
Yeah, The Rock would like go crazy.
Nah, that would be good. So this is like totally off subject, but Cyrus had mentioned something. We were talking about this interview like what the last as soon as he told us that he hit you up, like we were thinking about, how can we make this interview a little bit different? What kind of questions to ask? Let's not be too repetitive, And for those who really want to know more, we want them to come to your YouTube channel and watch your videos and all.
Yeah, get those views up, everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hit
Definitely.
up 30 to Life.
Check it out.
30 to Life,
Let me see.
YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And
Right there.
Twitter.
Click his
Make
link.
sure you guys
All his links is right there, all his socials and everything. Check him out. So Cyrus had mentioned you used to be a rapper, huh?
I heard you mention it. Let's not play it off, Foos. I told you, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So
somebody had
small things that you mentioned. Oh, like I said, I'm a fan. So when you say something, I'm like, oh, all right. So I guess I know what question I'm gonna bring up.
So tell us about this Ron that would write his rhymes and all that.
Tell us about rapping Ron.
Rapping Ron, there you go.
I used to get that when I was in prison. A lot of people will tell you, a lot of the Usos in there, they'll tell you that's what I did to pass time. I write raps, and I was doing that all through CYA, through most of my time in prison, but just never really went anywhere with it, of course. But it was another way for me to express. Mm-hmm. And so I put all my thoughts and my feelings, my heart into writing these songs. And so, yeah, I used to do them for the folks up in there.
Make your own intro video for the channel.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Your own intro song? That'd be crazy.
I've thought about it. Yeah.
Get you over down to Vegas so you can go record it. What was it? King Gas's
studio. That's where
studio?
I go. Yeah, man. We need to hear that, Ron. I like it because we were talking about it. Like, man, I wonder if Ron gets tired of talking about prison and shit. Like, like I've seen all your interviews, and you do your your own videos. I'm like, man, like, nobody, everybody always wants to know, like, the story, what
Yeah.
you went through and stuff. So we thought, like, man, why don't we just ask him questions about, like, other stuff. So I remember in that video, was it a CEO that told you, like, man, you got talent, or something like that? What did you grow up on? Like, what kind? I mean, obviously hip hop, and you're rapping, but what are some artists that you
Well,
were growing up with?
I'm from Vacaville, so that's 707 right there. So I grew
Yeah.
up on Mac Dre, 40,
Rest in peace.
all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's what I was listening to out there. I listened to a lot of Sacramento rappers for a while as well. Brother Lynch, of course,
Brother
Sibo,
Lynch.
yeah, Mr. Dog, all them dudes back in the days, and when I was younger, NWA.
Uh-huh.
I listened to all the gangster rap back
Right.
the 90s.
That was the theme music for life, for the life.
Yeah.
Yep. So what are you listening to now?
Nowadays I listen to reggae. I'm more mellow.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Old school R&B. Yeah, just more mellow music.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I don't really listen to rap like that. I'm more of a R&B, neo soul, reggae.
Yeah. Old school
we
music.
that, and then it's kind of just typical for polys to just listen to hip hop or rap, or that's what it's thought of in reggae. But we also listen to like the EDM music, the rock music. Like pretty much my sound is all compiled together from what I grew up on. So, like from Babyface to Justin Timberlake to Metallica to Kendrick Lamar, like it's it's whatever I like at the moment.
All that.
So do you have a list of your top 5 favorite rappers of all time?
Ooh.
My top
your favorite.
Yeah. M.
Okay.
Eminem. Yeah. That's my favorite. And then, I mess with Kendrick, J. Cole,
Okay.
E40, of course. Yeah. I like anybody that comes with, them lyrics.
Something, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that. Yeah, definitely.
Damn. Chief, you got anything?
So going back a little bit, like, so you said that, like, when you was reading the Bible and you prayed over it, like, that really, like, helped you change. So going through it, the day of your release, like, can you tell us about, like, that, like, how that went, like, you getting the news and then going about your day about that?
Yeah, so I knew I was getting released. It was January 9th, I think, 2009. And I remember waking up early. Of course, you wake up. I didn't sleep, but 1 hour, 2 hours, and I wake up really early, way before breakfast. Didn't want to eat.
Yeah.
Didn't want to. I just basically sat there with my stuff packed.
I just want to go home. Yeah.
Yeah, waiting for them to call me, and so they finally call me. It's what felt like forever, and I go down to R&R to dress out, and my wife had sent a box with some clothes and shoes, stuff to wear to dress out, so I don't have to wear these blues. And so I start putting on the clothes. Mind you, it's been 10 years. It's been over a decade since I've been locked up. So I start putting on these clothes, and I really don't know how to wear normal clothes. Real talk. And
Wow.
so I remember just having this button up shirt, and I buttoned it all the way to the top. And I was standing there just waiting to go, and this brother was watching me because he was getting released too, and he was like, "How long you been down?" And I told him over 10 years, and he said, "Oh, okay." He said, "Unbutton a couple of those buttons right there." So he helped me out a little bit, and then after that, I remember just going out to get in the van. They got to drive you through the prison to the front gates, and as I'm about to get on the van, they got to check you, and you got to give them your CDC number still, your last name, all that stuff. And I just remember the officer telling me like, "Oh, you've been down for a minute. Okay, you've been down for a while." He's like, "You done?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm done." He was like, "That's good, that's good." And he said, "Well, I wish you good luck." And that was the first time I really heard, one of these hard ass CEOs
Mhm.
talk to, it was different.
Yeah.
And so I get on the van and we still had to be cuffed and stuff like that. But we get out to the front and I see my wife out there. And I think you guys seen the video. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, she happened to park the car right there where the van was going to pull up. And she had her camera there. It was just perfect. And yeah.
Yeah.
And
Man.
so it was the first time I got to really just be free. And I remember getting in the car and telling her to slow down because I was just like, man, it
It's
felt
been a
like we
minute.
were moving hella
Yeah.
fast.
It's been a
Yeah,
minute. Sitting in the
right.
front seat. Sitting in the
Uh,
front seat. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I was literally holding on the door and everything because it was just things were flying by. I haven't been moving this fast in a long time. And she asked me if I was hungry. And so she takes me to this place that I had never been to, In and Out.
mm.
I just knew I wanted a burger and fries. And so
Yeah.
she takes me to this place, In and Out. And I thought it was, I'm not really tripping on nothing, but when I get in there, I didn't notice I was acting weird. I was standing against the wall. I was watching everyone. I thought, at any moment something was going to
Right,
happen.
right.
Yeah,
People
I
just trying to
didn't.
get to their seat. Just like, hey man, move. Like, sit
Yeah,
down there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It felt very uncomfortable. People were moving around me. And then I told my wife, I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick." And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, okay, I'll wait for you." She could tell something was wrong with me. I go
Yeah.
in the bathroom, and I remember just going up to the sink, and I didn't know how to use it. It was touch.
Automatic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I didn't know what to do, and I was standing there because I was looking for the nozzles to turn, and I ended up asking this guy, "How did you do that?" Because he was
Yeah.
washing his hands,
Yeah.
and he just kind of looked at me funny, but he was like, "You just put your hands under the thing." And man, I was just a nervous wreck. It was really rough.
Anxiety was just up. You're just
Yeah,
like, dang.
yeah, yep,
But,
yep.
man. How long did it take for you to finally like, okay, this is real? I don't have to, having your head on a swivel at all times, being mindful of your surroundings is always a good thing.
Yeah.
But to where you're like, all right, I can stand in this line. I can drive this car. I can, how long did it take for you to finally get to that point?
I still to this day can't deal with crowds. I get nervous anywhere, like being in when there's too many people around me.
Yeah.
It really. I remember my daughter making a comment to me because she noticed that when I came home, this is first time having me at the dinner table and everything. So they're watching me, and so my first time being at dinner with them, I put my back to the wall. I chose a certain seat, and she noticed that. Everywhere we would go, same thing. I want to sit at a table in the back, so I can
Against the
watch.
wall.
Yeah, so I can watch the door, anything like that. Just watching people. Even to this day, I walk out of the grocery store, I'm scanning, watching
Yeah.
people. Yeah, so it's still with me, but I'm a lot more comfortable, of course, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's still with me. Yeah, it messed me up. I really think so.
Yeah. I remember when because I picked up Vika, after 30 years of him doing time.
Mhm.
And I remember when he got out, my mom's a wreck. She's crying in the car. And yeah, I recorded it or whatever, and the CEO's tripping, and I'm just like, man, you ain't a cop. Like, man, shut up. Man, shut up and go do your job. Don't talk to me like that. Shut up. And then he gets in the car, and then I remember we asked him, like, are you hungry? He was like, no, just go. Because he felt like, dang, at any moment they're gonna come get me.
Yeah.
And what's happening right now isn't real.
Mhm.
So he's like, he felt like, man, this can be taken away.
Yeah.
Me being with my family can be taken away. I need to go. And I remember we stopped at a gas station, and he was just like, dang, for real. And my mom's smoking a cigarette, and then she's just clowning him the whole time, like, come stand over here. we can't stand next to the gas pump and smoke a cigarette, and he's smoking. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go run inside, grab some snacks, because we got like a 8-hour drive back to Victorville,
Man.
from like Soledad. Yeah, he was in Soledad. And I remember he was like, hey, do you need somebody to go with you? And I was like, oh no, we good. Like I just, and then it hit me. I was just like, oh, walking pairs. Like I was like, I know, and then when he got in there, and he's real respectful, manners, and excuse me, yeah, can I get by you? Excuse me. And then when he went to go use the restroom, and then he came out, and you could tell he was, head on a swivel. And I was like, dang, he doesn't, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So, getting him in the car, us handing him a cell phone, and he was just like, what do I do with this? I was like, oh, that's yours. And he was like, yeah. And I told him, I was like, yeah, man, you don't got to hide it. Like, you don't got to hide it. Ain't nobody looking for your cell phone. But I remember I was so excited that he came home, and I woke up. It was like 3 a.m, and he was sitting in the kitchen. And I was like, dang, you didn't sleep? He was like, no. Like, I was like, yeah, this is your room. Like, this is where, and, he said it in his interview. Like, he was just sitting in his room, like, what the hell? Like, laying on his bed. And he was just like, what the hell? And I was teaching him how to use his phone, showing him like, oh, this is how you open YouTube. And this is this and that. And, he had his little notebook paper, and he was putting in the numbers that he had. Like, hearing you say that after so long, and you don't know how to work the sink, just it's different, it's automatic now. And like seeing you guys go through that, I have an older brother who did time, and he came home, and he texted me. He came home, I couldn't see him, he was all the way in Santa Ana. And he texted me, and he was like, hey man, have you heard of this Netflix thing? I was like, yeah, you watch movies? He was like, man, it's crazy, right? And I was like, what? Yeah. Like, but he did like 6 years. But in 6 years, especially like 2010 to 2020, a lot changed. Like life changed like that.
Yeah.
And so when he got home, and he was just like, yo, what the hell's all this? Like, looking around, and there's little kids that weren't born when he was around, and just you're just like, what the hell? Like, so no, but seeing you guys, or just seeing it firsthand, how for someone who did a lot of time, like a decade, you did a decade, and then coming back into society and pretty much playing catch up. Like, okay, I gotta learn how to do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Like, to me, that's I will never understand. I'm just, I'm on par with pretty much everything that goes out. We have a podcast, like, but yeah, man, like, I definitely those are good stories, like, to hear. To me, it's always funny, right? Pine didn't know how to use a slushy machine.
No, man, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Because we had him on, and he told us the story, and he was like, yeah, I wanted to go in there and get like a slushy. Yeah. You just standing around for 5 minutes next to the slushy machine, or grabbing chips that he's not gonna buy, just waiting for somebody to walk up, and then for him to be like, I just walked out and hopped in the car, like, and then when the guys are asking, like, oh, what'd you go get? Oh, nothing, I was just looking around, like, just cracking up and stuff. But yeah, definitely those are stories I love to hear, because I'm like, man, I'm on par with everything, but just to hear everybody experience it for the first time, that's always good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I know that that adjustment has to be something else. I have an uncle that just got out too last year. Last year, and I ended up seeing him recently. I think just like towards the end of last year, I think in December, and to see him look at one of my other uncles who's smoking a vape, he was just in shock, like, what the hell is that? because he would just put it to his mouth, take a suck, and then blow out all this smoke. And then my uncle still has a cigarette, and he takes a puff of that, and it's like a little bit of smoke. He was like, "What is that?" He's like, "Man, I gotta see what this is about." And it's just like you said, to see it firsthand how they how you guys have to adjust right away. And definitely 6 to 10 years is a lot of time, because technology now is just moving so fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I can see that that adjustment is something else that you guys got to go through.
Man.
But
So when you got out, did you go straight back to Vacaville?
No, I went to Woodland, close to Vacaville. Yeah,
right.
yeah, it's close to Vacaville.
Do you ever go back?
Not really.
No.
Yeah,
I wouldn't either, man. I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
But like I said, I always go back to it. But like Vika, he doesn't go back to Santa Ana ever.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm good. I'm straight. Why would I go back?
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Got to keep it pushing, keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm trying to make my way back to the islands.
Ooh,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of going to Samoa, or is there any connection back home?
That's pretty much what I want to do. I would love to go out there. Yeah. I'm looking to go out there and hang out with everyone and get to learn the culture more and see the history, see the roots. Yeah.
Is there anything that, since being in, that you've learned about the culture?
Man.
Like things that you held on to.
Right.
Yeah, of course, being in prison with all the Usos in there, when I first got in there, I didn't know nothing, honestly. I grew up out here, like I said, and except for my little time in Hawaii, being around the family out there and everything, but mostly in the streets out here. And so when I went to prison, I knew nothing about the culture and anything like that. So a lot of the Usos in there would give me a lot of history and to read. Yeah. And basically they would always try to get me to speak Samoan all the time. And I just remember just learning about the Samoan way, the Fa Samoa, just feeling like finally I have some kind of direction and some kind of sense of belonging. And just learning about our heart and how we look out for one another. Because when I came in there, like I said, I was banging, and I thought I was gonna do the Crip thing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the Usos, he had pulled me to the side, and he let me know, like, "Hey, Us, you run with us. It's a different story. We take care of each other. We look out for one another." And I got to learn that with a lot of the Usos in there. I didn't know how we got down.
Damn.
Yeah, I always hear those stories, like the Usos they're a force to be reckoned with. You guys are tanks in there. It'll be 100 of a certain race, and it'll be 10 Usos, 15 Usos, or 15 sounds like a lot, but when the smoke clears, the Usos, the Usos are still standing. The Usos are still standing.
Yeah, man. You know how it is. We all grew up fighting.
Yeah.
So when you go to the pen, that's what I tell everyone. Man, you go to the pen, you ain't got no guns or nothing like that.
You can't run for that.
And you ain't running.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think I'll be all right in there. Nah. No, but I remember you telling the story of the Uso at was that San Quentin, and pretty much just them running you down, and he was saying that's where a lot of the Islanders were getting locked up and getting sent there, and you guys were just real thick there. And I always, I grew up Fa Samoa, but here in the States, so I know a lot of the language. I understand it really well. It's broken as hell when I talk, but I know a lot of the history. So, I take pride in who we are, especially, being with these Usos, like as close, as we are. with Chief, I grew up with him. He's pretty much my little brother. And Husky, we just met him a little over a year ago. We
At the end of 2020, because that's when I started streaming on Facebook.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so like, yeah. So we, but just how we bonded, like how you saying, like,
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
take care of each other. Like, you would have thought we knew Husky all our lives, but you would have thought, but it's not even close to a fraction of how long I've known Chief.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they ran you down with our about our people. I love our people so much. The stories, all the way back to Queen Salamasinga. The Mao movement. To me, the Mao movement is so powerful and impactful, and that needs to be talked about a lot more, because that was our party that was fighting against the colonizers, and they did what they could, and we still we did everything peacefully, and they still brought violence to the islands. So definitely, I'm really glad that they ran you down and stuff. Like I love seeing that. I love that video when when they were somebody was calling you Palangi Ron. Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
But they did that, and then eventually you became Uso Ron. So like,
Yeah.
truly being embraced. Like, I love that for you. Like, man, I really do.
Yeah, when I hit San Quentin, so I don't have a Samoan last name. I go by my stepdad. Well, he, of
Yeah.
course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so the Usos, they get the roster who's coming off the bus.
Yeah.
So you know what names they're looking for, and so they don't see no one coming in. So when I show up in line, I'm standing there with my blankets and pillow, whatever, and one of the Usos is standing there with his clipboard, and he's like this, and he's looking at the line, and he looks up and he sees me, and he's like, hey, you Samoan? And I was like, yeah. And he looked at his list again. Said, hey, Us, I don't see. I didn't know no Usos was coming.
Oh shit.
But so that's how it started, and so when I hit the block, it was like that because I didn't speak Samoan or nothing. I didn't know shit, and so that's how it started. Oh, yeah, that's Palangi Ron right there. Yeah.
Was there anybody else who was in there, or that you've ever come across during your time that was like that? Like,
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. We had one also named Mike from Frisco.
Yeah.
And he looked Palangi, you know what I mean? But you know, you see the Samoan features in his face, but he was white as hell with freckles and everything, man. And so, he had to put in more work to get.
Yeah. You got to earn. Yeah, you got to earn this.
And he even had a real Samoan last name, though.
Damn.
And so he didn't know anything about being Samoan.
Nah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you know what was crazy was I was in high desert and we was on lockdown. And this Indian dude, this native, comes up to our door, long hair, everything, knocks on the door, and he's like, "Soleus," and he starts speaking Samoan to us, right? And I'm just looking at him like, I don't know what the hell you're saying. And so my celly starts talking to him in Samoan, right? And I remember just feeling hella bad, hella dumb, because here's this Native American speaking our language fluently. And but come to find out, what happened was that he was adopted by a Samoan family. He had his last name was Samoan, everything, but straight native.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that does make me feel ashamed too. Like I know a little bit, mainly growing up, the way we learned is we made our grandma repeat herself. you make her repeat herself enough in Samoan, she's gonna end up getting mad and saying it in English. So now you're like, okay, I know what this means,
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I can relate. Seeing a Palangi, just out of nowhere, but you see them hanging with a bunch of Usos, and next thing you know, they're just conversing back and forth fluently. You're like, what the fuck? All right,
Right.
I'm out.
Man,
No,
that's
I
crazy.
I saw damn, I can't remember which place you were locked up, but I saw that one of your reps had went to the hole, and the way you took over, not intentionally, but the respect that you had with one of the Usos that came in and started messing around on a handball court, trying to get the other guys to get off, but not knowing who they were, and you did. Um, how did it feel when situations like that arose and you had to take control, or or others looked to you, to handle the situation? What kind of went through your head, and what did it feel like?
Yeah. So when I went in, one of the things, like I said, the Usos really wanted me to be schooled down, so they kept me close to the big Usos. You know what I mean? And so I learned a lot of game from them and how they handled things. So it kind of just came naturally. You know, when you're dealing with our people, you can't come at them headstrong all the time. You know,
Right.
you really got to really make them see what the hell they doing, because the anger is just there right now at this moment. And so that's what I did with him. I basically made him see the situation instead of him just being angry and wanting to take off or kick it off. I
Yeah.
made him realize that what you're doing is jeopardizing all of us, not just
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when you're in the car, when you're with us,
Yeah.
it's all of us. Whatever you do,
Exactly.
it's all of us. It reflects all of us. It's going to include all of us, no matter what. And this also, at the time, he didn't really understand that, and he thought that like whatever he's getting into was just him,
Mhm.
but it don't work that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, to myself, I was thinking, the first thing that goes through is, let's DP this person, because they're doing something out of pocket. And then the way you reacted, I was like, damn, I would have never thought of that, like, hey, Sole, go grab the shank and put this in this fool's hand and see what he does, and completely, and like you said, it's not that he was a punk about it, but now it made him realize, oh shit, I'm about to go home, so I can't afford,
Yeah.
to fuck this up. So
Right.
yeah, I
Right.
thought that was really unique the way you about that. Chad, if you figure out what I'm talking about, check out the links. Okay, you'll see his videos and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Man, like and subscribe. Watch all
Yeah.
his stuff. Ron got some of the best stuff, man. He got some of the best
Yeah.
stuff. Um, for those who don't know, a car is pretty much who you're riding with in prison. So just in case you guys didn't get that. So when you hear us use the term car, it's pretty much who they're riding with. Um, and just to hear that story that you brought up, I always love that one because it's like, you know, Ron really like big homied
Yeah.
that situation. And it's just like letting him know, like, hey, like you're about to kick something off that like you don't understand what's
Oh,
about to happen. You're like you're not gonna go home. Like
yeah, that's it. You're done.
you're about to go home and you're a few months to to going home, but it's about
Yeah.
to turn into 3 years, 5.
Mhm.
Well, once we kick it, kick this off, it is what it is.
He's about to get an extended stay.
Yeah.
Go make your bed.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The cold part about it is that a lot of people don't realize that. You think that you're going to go to prison and just do your time. There's a lot of people that go in there and don't come home or end up catching a life sentence because of situations like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So just think twice before you go out there taking penitentiary chances, because in there, man, it's for keeps. You got to do
Yeah.
what you got to do, and you ain't going to run from your problem. You're not. It's
Yeah.
going to follow you. It's going to catch up to you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The movies definitely don't do it justice. They
No.
always tell you, "Oh, go for the biggest man," take over the yard. This shit don't work like
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah, you'll kick something off real quick.
that.
yeah.
You're not gonna know what you're doing.
Yeah.
uh,
Uh,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So one of our viewers, she asked, "What was your biggest regret as a kid, looking back?"
I have so many, but lately I've been really reflecting on how I treated my parents, because I was so angry, and I had a foul mouth because I was so mad at my mom, so mad at my dad, and I said some mean things as a youngster,
Mhm.
and I feel bad for that. I regret that, and just creating victims in my crimes when I was a kid, and just like I said, I was just taking my anger out on anything and everything. Uh, yeah, I regret so much of hurting people like that. So much.
Yeah. uh, you got anything else, Cyrus?
Another one of our viewers uh asked, will y'all learn the language now as an adult?
Yes.
I
I'm
already
learning right now. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Hands down. I because my wife is Mexican, so she tells me she doesn't speak fluent, but to me, when I hear her speak, it's like, it's pretty fluent to me,
Right.
when she
Yeah.
speaks Spanish. But definitely the goal is to learn it, learn Samoan, and be able to teach our kids to be trilingual. You know what I mean? Give them the best advantages and just, help them push forward. I think that'll be a big benefit later on in the future for anybody, to be honest.
With my lady, she's black, and this being with me was the first time being around the culture, you know, and it kind of introduced it to her, like, this is what comes with being with me.
Mhm.
Like, I have a very loving family, and we take care of each other, through thick and thin, even though as bad as things were back then, at this very moment, like, my family really bonds together. Like, you know, we've been to so many funerals, we've buried so many loved ones, and my lady was there for it. And just being there and seeing how um seeing what matters most to us, and that's like the time with each other, being together, learning that family means the most. So, you know, going back to what our viewer said, like learning the language, um, me is more so uh, educating myself further. You know, my dad, who did time when he got sent back, changed his whole life around. He's actually a chief back in the islands in the village, and he's been spitting so much game to me about what our last name means, where it comes from, the lineage of, because just a few generations ago, um Husky's uh great grandmother
Mhm.
and my great grandmother are sisters, and we didn't know that,
Yeah.
until until you start doing the history, the
Mhm.
history check, and I was just like, it's crazy, like, you never would have thought, but we're like distant cousins from one another. So, but definitely learning the culture. For those who may not, in the chat, Samoans, and they're kind of distant from it. Um, if you ever get a chance, try to learn the language, try to learn the history about who we are.
Mhm.
Our people are beautiful. Our culture is beautiful. The land we come from is beautiful. Like you were saying, Ron, you want to go back and maybe visit. Man, there's so much green. I've never seen so much green. Like you'll be in front of one of the houses, whatever, and it's a big old Hallmark or postcard, screen, picture in the background, and it's just hills and waterfalls. And because at the time I went back, I was like, yo, this is, hey, nobody will ever believe this. And I'm just walking barefoot everywhere. I'm like, man, this is beautiful. So I hope you do get a chance to go back, Ron. I know I didn't want to come back, but as a kid, it was, I saw all the chores they were doing, and I was like, all right, yes, yeah.
He's like, yeah, no files for me.
Yeah, you gotta send me back to America. Yeah, man.
Is there anything you want to say, Ron? Anything?
You have questions for us? Questions for us or anything?
I'm actually just enjoying myself hearing your guys' stories as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm thankful to be here though on your guys' podcast. Most definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Like I said, we're fans. We're fans.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't know about you until like a lot of these things that are coming up. I'm getting to know through Cyrus. So Cyrus was the one that told me about the faux movement. Cyrus had told me about the 30toLife, about you. So,
I front line over here.
He does.
I'm on the line.
He's putting me on everything. So now, like, as I'm trying to do research and look through things, I'm looking at your looking at faux movement videos and other, a lot of other people, whether it's streamers, people are trying to make a difference. People are trying to change their own lives. Like, I'm starting to see, like, damn, and it lets me know, and it reminds me that no matter what happens, because I'm always trying to look at things in a positive way. I'm always trying to keep my family positive, and other people around me. As they say, surround yourself around positivity and never let that negativity come in. And so to see where you guys were and the outcome now, and knowing it's still getting better, like, it just keeps reminding me, don't give up. Just keep it pushing, fall, get back up, and let's just keep doing this, So thank you for coming on here. Thank you for telling your stories and posting your videos, because without that, other people wouldn't be changing their lives as well. Other people wouldn't have somewhere to go to express how they feel. So thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, we're fans, man. We love you around here, man.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much for doing this. I know you got a million things to do, and you're sitting here with us. Again, we love your story. Everybody in chat, everybody watching this video, please check out Uso Ron. Follow him on all social media platforms. Check out his channel. Watch his videos. Like, Ron really does have some really good content. Listen to his stories. Get the message. He not just my interview, but he's done like top quality work with interviewing all these people that are on there. So Ellie, Pineapple, VJ, everybody that's been on there, please go check them out. As well as like all his other videos. Listen to his stories, and also that video where he gives his 5 recommendations as far as books. But yeah, again, Uso, just like Husky said, it's been an honor having you on. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for having me.
And we really do appreciate you.
Is there any shout outs you want to give before we cut this interview?
I just want to shout out you guys. I
you.
appreciate you guys. I'm gonna look into your guys' thing now, because I never knew nothing about Twitch or anything. My little son, he's 10. He know more about that kind of stuff. So I was asking him before I got on here with y'all. So yeah, he was trying to show me, but it's gonna be something I'm gonna have to learn. So I want to check you guys out more. I really enjoyed this. I like what you guys are doing. Cyrus told me about how you guys tackle the mental illness and everything, subjects like that, those hard subjects. Those are definitely subjects that we all need to talk about. And I really appreciate you guys.
if you ever want to come back on while we're tackling those issues, let us know. Or just if you want to come back and just hang out and vibe with us, you know,
sure.
we do a lot of streams where we're just hanging out and just just kind of vibing and do it with each other. But yeah, man, thank you so much for being here. Shout out to your engineer. I know,
hell yeah,
going to work. She's doing her best.
Yeah,
Definitely. But yeah, shout out to her. Thank her for helping you along your with your journey. So
definitely.
Before we go,
yep.
My bad. My dad's a big fan. He'd probably get mad at me if I didn't say this, but my dad said what's up. He just told me to say that. But yeah,
that's right. Tell him I said what's up too. Yeah.
Telling you, sweet.
I appreciate the support. Yeah.
Bruce, we love you around here. We really do. Like my family's tapped in with you. Like definitely what you're doing, man. You know.
Thank you.
You know, we love you around here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Chat, that's gonna be it for us. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Make sure you follow those links. I'm gonna post it one more time. Catch Uso Ron on his YouTube, his Instagram, his Twitter. Follow us on our socials as well. Don't forget to like, share everything you see. Okay? Catch you guys later. Peace out.
Wait. And y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck out of trouble.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck out of trouble.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck out of trouble.
That's right.
Later, chat.
Peace.
Y'all.
When up, that's why I don't trip. Music fix my loose grip. I'ma ride on water like a cruise ship. Bad girls want good guys, good girls love hood guys. Bad and good guys judge a woman 1 to 10, depending on what she look like, rather than a good mind. Am I right? Nah, what's up? Are you down? Questions that never help. I fall in love until I catch myself. Fast forward to a flashback. Yeah, you heard me. Catch that. Step forward to a past event. So I live the future in the past tense. Always texting good morning. Lesson 3. How'd you sleep? Always tell me that you're proud of me. Insecure to me. Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm still here.